So this is Madhya-lila chapter 13, the Lord's dancing at Ratha-yatra. So we're hearing about this dancing, and I'll start with verse number 120. Nachite nachite prabhur hoila bhavantar hastatuli shloka pare kori uchai. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, his ecstasy changed. Raising his two arms, he began to recite the following verse in a loud voice. Yo komara harasa eva, eva rasta eva, chaitra chapas, te chonmilita malati, surabaya, proda, karambanila, sa chaivasmi tatapi, Tatra surata vyapara lila viro reva rodasi virasi taru tale cheta samutkantate. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I'm also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So Mahaprabhu is singing this verse while he's dancing in Ratha-yatra, and others cannot understand because this verse doesn't explicitly explain what is in Mahaprabhu's heart, in the sense that it's, first of all, it's being expressed by a woman who's mourning, who's lamenting that the absence of her lover. She's saying, that person who stole away my youth, who was my first lover, like this, he's my master, but these are the same, that everything appears as it was, but time has passed, that now things are different. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to the place on the bank of the Reva under the Vedasi tree. That is my desire. So there's the expression that time has passed, things are now different, and no one expressed from a female point of view, and no one can understand what Mahaprabhu is referring to. But Swarup Damodar, as it's mentioned, he could understand, and we'll also hear how Srila Rupa Goswami, he wrote a parallel verse that explains what Mahaprabhu is expressing and thinking. A shloka Mahaprabhu pade bar bar swarup mina artake ho na jane ihar. This verse was recited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again, but for Swarup Damodar no one could understand its meaning. A shlokarta purve koriyache vyakyan shlokara bhavarta kori sankepeya akyan. I have already explained this verse, now I shall simply describe it in brief. Purve jaiche kuruketre sab gopigan krishnara darshana paya ananditaman. Formerly all the gopis of Vrindavan were very pleased when they met with Krishna in the holy place of Kurukshetra. Jagannath Deki Prabhu say Baba Utila, say Baba Vishta Haya, Durya Gaujala. Similarly, after seeing Lord Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awoke with the ecstasy of the gopis. Being absorbed in this ecstasy, he asked Swarup Damodar to sing the refrain. Aveshe Radha Krishna Kore Nibedan, say Tumi, say Ami, say Nava Sangam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke thus to Lord Jagannath. You are the same Krishna and I am the same Radharani. We are meeting again in the same way that we met in the beginning of our lives. Tatapi Amar Mana Hare Brindavan Brindavane Udaya Karo Apanaksharan. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dham. I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. So years after Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura, 125 years had passed and they again met Radharani and all the gopis and residents of Vrindavan went to Kurukshetra during the time of a solar eclipse. And there Krishna had also arrived, but now he wasn't with his flute, he was with many queens. He had come from Dwarka. So Radharani has seen Krishna after these years, and she is saying, I am the same Radharani, you're the same, my love, but time has passed, and what Mahaprabhu was expressing is the mood of Radharani during Ratha-yatra. His mood is he wants to take Krishna, he wants to take Jagannath back to Vrindavan. So going to the Gundicha temple, the Jagannath Puri temple that is like Dwarka, because Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra are on the throne of Jagannath Puri temple. That is, Subhadra was never in Vrindavan, but she was in Dwarka. And that Jagannath temple is called Nilachala. And then Gundicha, it is like going from Nilachala to Gundicha. It's like taking Krishna back to Vrindavan. The Gundicha temple is in Mahaprabhu's mind. That is like taking Krishna back to Vrindavan, and is with that mood of Radharani, of wanting to take Krishna back to Vrindavan, that Mahaprabhu was dancing during the Ratha-yatra. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dham. I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. Ihan Lokararanya Hati Goda Rata Dvani Tahan Pushparanya Bringa Pikan Narashuni. In Kurukshetra there are crowds of people, elephants and horses, and also the rattling of chariots. But in Vrindavan there are flower gardens, and the humming of the bees and chirping of the birds can be heard. Ihan Rajavesh Sange Savakatriya Gan Tahan Gopavesh Sange Murali Vadan. Here at Kurukshetra you are dressed like a royal prince, accompanied by great warriors, but in Vrindavan you appear just like an ordinary cowherd boy, accompanied only by your beautiful flute. Braje Tomara Sange Je Sukha Ashradan Se Sukha Samud Rera Ihan Nahi Ekan. Here there is not even a drop of the ocean of transcendental happiness that I enjoyed with you in Vrindavan. Amaloya Punalila Koraha Brindavane Tabe Amar Manobansha Hoita Purane. I therefore request you to come to Vrindavan and enjoy pastimes with me. If you do so, my ambition will be fulfilled. Bhagavate Ache Jaiche Radhika Bachan Purve Daha Sutra Madhye Koriyache Varnan. I've already described in brief Srimati Radharani's statement from Srimad Bhagavatam. say Bababe Shri Prabhupada Arishlok, say Sub Shlokararta Nahi Bujhe Lok. In that ecstatic mood, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited many other verses, but people in general could not understand their meaning. Swarup Gosai Janena Kohe Artatar, Sri Rupa Gosai Koila Se Arta Prachar. The meaning of these verses was known to Swarup Damodar Goswami, but he did not reveal it. However, Sri Rupa Goswami has broadcast the meaning. Swarup Sange Jara Arta Kore Ashwadan Nritya Madhya Se Shlok Korana Patan. While dancing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to recite the following verse, which he tasted in the association of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Ahus Chate Nalina Nava Padaravindam Yogeshvarara Ridi Vichintyam Agaraborai Samsara Kupa Patito Taranav Valambam Geham Jusham Api Manasi Udiyat Sadanaha. The gopis spoke thus: Dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. Anyera Ridayaman Maraman Brindavan Mane Bane Ek Korijani Tahan Tomar Paradwaya Koraha Jadi Udaya Tabe Tomar Purna Kripamani. Speaking in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, for most people the mind and heart are one, but because my mind is never separated from Vrindavan, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. My mind is already Vrindavan, and since you like Vrindavan, will you please place your lotus feet there? I would deem that your full mercy. Pranana Shunamora Satya Nibedan Braja Amar Saran Tahan Tomar Sangam Na Paile Na Rahe Jivan. My dear Lord, kindly hear my true submission. My home is Vrindavan and I wish your association there. But if I do not get it, then it will be very difficult for me to keep my life. Purve Udava Dware Ebe Sakat Amare Jogad Gyane Kohila Upai Tumi Vidagda Kripamoy Janaha Amara Ridoy More Aiche Kohite Najujai. My dear Krishna, formerly when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhava to teach me speculative knowledge, Gyan Yoga. You taught, my dear Krishna, or Gyan, my dear Krishna, formerly when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhava to teach me speculative knowledge, Gyan, and mystic yoga. Now you yourself are speaking the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept it. There is no place in my mind for Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Although you know me very well, you are still instructing me in Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. It is not right for you to do so. And Rupa Goswami expressed, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi yanavritam manukuyena krishnanu shilana bhakti uttama. That within what is uttama bhakti or pure bhakti, there's no room for jnana or for karma. And one should have to leave these things far away from devotion. So, my dear Krishna, formerly when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhava to teach me speculative knowledge and mystic yoga. Now you yourself are speaking the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept it. There's no place in my mind for Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Although you know me very well, You are instructing me in Jnana Yoga, and Jnana Yoga it is not right for you to do so. So Krishna tried to make some excuses when he saw. He did so through Uddhava. He actually sent Uddhava to Vrindavan, and Uddhava flattered the gopis and especially Srimati Radharani and said, "You are very fortunate because you have love for Krishna, and yogis are trying for so many lives to attain this love, but you have done so, and your knowledge of what is transcendence is complete, and you have perfected all kinds of yoga by your position of understanding and attaining this dedication to Krishna." And the gopis thought, why you're speaking like that? We are not interested in pious results, nor we are interested in attaining the success of a yoga. Yoga means to make a connection, but we're not thinking about the goals. We are rather proceeding just out of a normal sense that we have of affection for Krishna. That is all. And we're just ordinary persons. We're not. Don't try to flatter us with your flowery words. And so, Chitta Kari Tomahoite Vishaye Chahi Lagainte Jatna Kori Nari Kari Barahi Tare Jnana Shikka Karaha Loka Ashaya Mara Stana Nakora Vichare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I would like to withdraw my consciousness from you and engage it in material activities. But even though I try, I cannot do so. I am naturally inclined to you only. Your instructions for me to meditate on you are therefore simply ludicrous. In this way you are killing me. It is not very good for you to think of me as a candidate for your instructions. So Radharani's thinking like that. I would like to forget about Krishna and think of something else, but I'm not able to do so. And your instructions expressed through Uddhava that I should just meditate upon you, that is like ridiculous. That has no value for me. Nahi gopi yogeshvara parakamala tomara janakore paibe santosh tomara vakya paribhati taramanje kutinati shuni gopir aro bade rosh. The gopis are not like the mystic yogis. They will never be satisfied simply by meditating on your lotus feet and imitating the so-called yogis. Teaching the gopis about meditation is another kind of duplicity. When they are instructed to undergo mystic yoga practice, they are not at all satisfied. On the contrary, they become more and more angry with you. Deo smriti nahijar samsara kopa kahantar tahan hoite nachahe udar viraha samudra jale kama timingile gile gopigane neho tarapar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, the gopis have fallen into the great ocean of separation and are being devoured by the timingila fish of their ambition to serve you. The gopis are to be delivered from the mouths of these timingila fish, for they are pure devotees. Since they have no material conception of life, why should they aspire for liberation? The gopis do not want that liberation desired by yogis and jnanis, for they are already liberated from the ocean of material existence. Vrindavana Govardhan, Shamuna Pulina Van, Se Kunje, Rasadika Lila, Se Brajera, Rajajan, Matapita, Bandhugan, Borachitra, Kimone, Pasharila. It is amazing that you have forgotten the land of Vrindavan. And how is it that you have forgotten your father, mother, and friends? How have you forgotten Govardhan Hill, the bank of the Jamuna, and the forest where you enjoyed the rasa dance? Vidagda mridu shadgun sushila snigda karuna tumi tomarana hedo shabas tabe se tabe jay tomaraman nahismare brajajan sayamara Durdaiva Vilas. Krishna, you are certainly a refined gentleman with all good qualities. You are well-behaved, soft-hearted, and merciful. I know that there is not even a tinge of fault to be found in you. Yet your mind does not even remember the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This is only my misfortune and nothing else. So this is the mood of Srimati Radharani. And Mahaprabhu is thinking in this way while he's dancing during the Ratha-yatra. And he's thinking, as Radharani thought, in Kurukshetra, and seeing Krishna, but not feeling satisfied because her true love for Krishna cannot occur unless outside of Vrindavan. She wants to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. Nagani apana duk deki brajeshwari mukh brajajana ridai vidare kiba mara brajabasi kiba jio braje ashi kena jio duka sahibare. I do not care for my personal unhappiness, but when I see the morose face of Mother Yashoda and the hearts of all the inhabitants of Vrindavan breaking because of you, I wonder whether you want to kill them all, or do you want to enliven them by coming there? Why are you simply keeping them alive in a state of suffering? Tomaraje, Anya Besh, Anya Sangha, Anya Desh, Brajajane Kabu Nahibai, Brajabhumi, Chadite Nare, Tomana Dekile Mare, Brajajaner Ki Habe Upai. The inhabitants of Vrindavan do not want you dressed like a prince, nor do they want to associate with great warriors in a different country, or in a distant country, you could say. They cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence, they are all dying. What is their condition to be? Tumi Brajera Jivana Braja Raja Pranadan Tumi Brajer Sakala Sampad Kriparda Tomaraman Asejio Brajajan Braja Uday Karo Nijapad. My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul of Vrindavan Dham. You are especially the life of Nanda Maharaj. You are the only opulence in the land of Vrindavan, and you are very merciful. Please come and let all the residents of Vrindavan live. Kindly keep your lotus feet again in Vrindavan. So this is Mahaprabhu's mood during the Ratha-yatra. As he said, he wants the mood of Srimati Radharani going from Nilachala, Jagannath Puri to Gundicha, which is Gundicha Sundarachala. Sundarachala. Jagannath Puri is Nilachala, and Gundicha is Sundarachala. And and in Mahaprabhu's mind, his thinking, he is taking Krishna back to Vrindavan. Sundarachala is representing Vrindavan. Shuniya Radhikavani Braja Prema Manayani Babe Vyakulita Dehuman Vrajalok Prema Shuni Apanake Rinimani Kore Krishna Tare Ashvasan. After hearing Srimati Radharani's statements, Lord Krishna's love for the inhabitants of Vrindavan was evoked, and his body and mind became very much perturbed. After hearing of their love for him, he immediately thought himself to be always indebted to the residents of Vrindavan. Then Krishna began to pacify Srimati Radharani as follows. So as it says, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahyanya, that Mahaprabhu is both Krishna and Radharani. He is Krishna, internally Krishna, and he's covered with the Bhava Kanti, with the mood and with the beauty, the golden luster of Srimati Radharani. So Mahaprabhu is showing the mood of Radharani, and he's dancing, and he wants to take Krishna back to Vrindavan, and then Krishna expresses his love for Radharani. Is always existing. That love is always existing, but the thoughts of Mahaprabhu draws this feeling from Krishna, which is expressed here. Pranapriye Shunamor E Satyabachan Toma Sabar Smarane Juron Mui Rachidine Moraduka Najane Konjan. My dearest Srimati Radharani, please hear me. I am speaking the truth. I cry day and night simply upon remembering all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. No one knows how unhappy this makes me. Brajabasi, Jatajan, Matapita, Sakagan, Sabe Hoy, Mora Pranasam, Taramadye Gopigan, Sakat Mora Jivan, Tumi Mora Jivanera Jivan. Sri Krishna continued, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, my mother, father, cowherd boyfriends, and everything else are like my life and soul. And among all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis are my very life and soul. And among the gopis, you, Srimati Radharani, are the chief. Therefore, you are the very life of my life. Toma Savar Prema Rase Amake Kori Labase Ami Tomar Adina Kevala Toma Sab Chadaya Amadura Deshilaya Raki Jache Durdaiva Prabhu. My dear Srimati Radharani, I am always subservient to the loving affairs of all of you. I am under your control only. My separation from you and residence in distant places have occurred due to my strong misfortune. Priya Priya Sangahina, Priya Priya Sangavina, Nahi Jiye E Satya Brahman, Moradash, Shone Jabe, Tara E Dashahabe, E Baye Duhe, Rake Pran. When a woman is separated from the man she loves, or a man is separated from his beloved woman, neither of them can live. It is a fact that they live only for each other, for if one dies and the other hears of it, he or she will die also. I saw this when I was in Guadalajara. There was family, mainly a husband and wife. They were older. They lived next door to us. And that man, they were very nice people. And that man had diabetes. So one time he had some diabetic attack while he was in the streets. And they gave him the wrong kind of medicine. They gave him the wrong kind of insulin or something. And he died. And after he died, within a matter of days or most a week or two, the woman also passed away. So he experienced that. When a woman is separated from the man she loves, or man is separated from his beloved woman, neither of them can live. It is a fact that they live only for each other. For if one dies and the other hears of it, he or she will die also. Se sate premavate premavan se pati viyoge je vache priya hite se gane apanaduk banshe priya janasuk se dui mile achirate. Such a loving, chaste wife and loving husband desire all welfare for each other in separation and do not care for personal happiness. Desiring only each other's well-being, such a pair certainly meet again without delay. I'll read a few more verses. Rakite tomara jivan seviyami narayana tara shakti asi niti tomasane kridakori niti jai jadupuri taha tumi manaha moraswarti. So I'll just finish these verses and then
I can do other things.
okay. Rakite tomara jivan seviyami narayana tarashakti ashi niti tomasane kridakori niti jai yadupuri tahatumi manahamora swarti. You are my most dear, and I know that in my absence you cannot live for a moment. Just to keep you living, I worship Lord Narayan. By his merciful potency, I come to Vrindavan every day to enjoy pastimes with you. I then return to Dwarkadam. Thus, you can always feel my presence there in Vrindavan. Morabhagyana vishaye tomaraje prema hoye se prema parama prabhav lokana ama ane sangha koraya tomasane Prakateha anive satvar. Our love affair is more powerful because of my good fortune in receiving Narayana's grace. This allows me to come there unseen by others. I hope that very soon I will be visible to everyone. Yadavera vipaka jatadushta kamshapaka taha ami Koilun Sabakawai Achedui Charijan Tahamare Vrindavan Adama Ami Jania Nischai. I have already killed all the mischievous demons who are enemies of the Yadu dynasty, and I have also killed Kamsa and his allies. But there are two to four demons still living. I wish to kill them. After doing so, I shall very soon return to Vrindavan. Please know this for certain. And actually, Krishna didn't return to Vrindavan because there are so many demons, and he didn't want those demons just bothering people in Vrindavan. So Krishna stayed in Dwarka, and he is engaged in killing one demon after another. And it said actually Krishna doesn't take one step out of Vrindavan. Him being in Dwarka is through his expansion of Vasudeva, his Vishnu expansion. Krishna's always in Vrindavan. So say Shatragan, Hoite, Braja Jana Rakite, Rahe Raje, Udasina Haya, Jebastri Putradane, Kori Raja Avarane, Jadugane or Santosha Lagia. I wish to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan from the attacks of my enemies. That is why I remain in my kingdom. Otherwise I am different to my royal position. Whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain in the kingdom are only for the satisfaction of the yadus. So it's getting a little late to I'll continue with this reading. This chapter is very intense. Apparently Mahaprabhu is just in Ratha-yatra, he's dancing in front of the Rath car, but what's going on in Mahaprabhu's consciousness and what he's expressing and what he's singing and everything, it is very, very intense. And he has completely absorbed in the mood of Srimati Radharani, of wanting to take Krishna back to Vrindavan, the mood expressed in Kurukshetra when they met. Radha and Krishna met during a solar eclipse. Everyone came from Vrindavan to Kurukshetra. And Krishna arrived from Dwarka with chariots and queens and armor and everything. And at that time, so what Mahaprabhu was expressing during the Ratha-yatra is like Radha and Krishna meeting in Kurukshetra. And apparently they're close together, but there is much separation because without Vrindavan, their mutual feelings of love, they cannot really be fulfilled. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj expressed it like he said, it's like in football. When the ball comes very, very close to crossing the goal, but then goes back, that is the mood of deep, you could say frustration, but Guru Maharaj expresses it. That expresses the deep separation that is felt by Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani, feeling separation from Krishna, because without being in Vrindavan, nothing really, their loving affairs cannot be fulfilled. And Mahaprabhu is always expressing service and separation. It's the sahajiyas, the imitationists who imagined Radha and Krishna enjoying. But that is not Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's mood is that of the acharya. He's showing how real service occurs, not by the imitationists, not by the sahajiyas, but by the devotee's feeling of service and separation. So I'll stop here. We'll sing Hare Haraya. Yeah.
Shri Guru
Hariharaya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namah Jadavaya Mara Janardan Seva Sari Gora Bhaktivedanta Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raguna Sri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raguna Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bhundan Jai Vignana Shabishta Puran Jai Gosai Dharmi Paradan Kasavar Padarenu Mora Panchagar Janana Sevi Bhakta Saneva Janame More Abhilan Jai Gosai Jabe Branche Koilabhan Radha Krishna Madhya-lila Korila Pratan Anande Bolo Hare Bhaja Bindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Madhya-lila Manisa Parikara Shri Shri Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Jo Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Sharyashta Tara Sada Shri Shima Srila Bhakti Tilak Neri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Sharyashta Tara Sada Shri Shimad Srila Bhakti Nirmawacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sada Shri Shimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sada Shri Shimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Vishvavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kusamashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari.